It feels as if when the clock struck midnight on November 1st, that somewhere in the universe, a cosmic switch was flipped, and almost overnight, the word gratitude showed up on everyone's lips and in everyone's minds. Each November, reminders of this gratitude come to cover every flat surface: coffee mugs, home decor, greeting cards. If you have not encountered this out in the wild yet, brace yourself, it's coming. But for many of us, this season brings complicated feelings. Some of us are grieving. Some are anxious about our loved ones or about the future. Some feel disconnected from joy entirely. In times like these, gratitude may feel like a demand we cannot meet. Yet, our faith invites us into a deeper, more resilient way of understanding gratitude. A gratitude that is not dependent on ease or abundance or cheerfulness. A gratitude that is born in the very heart of hardship. Today, I want to speak about gratitude as a practice of connection and as a life of reciprocity. Gratitude that helps us rise from despair. Gratitude that affirms we are not alone. Gratitude that compels us to act. We typically imagine gratitude as something that flows naturally from good fortune. You get the job that you hoped for, be grateful. Your health improves, be grateful. Life is going your way, be grateful. What about when grief is heavy? What about when the world is filled with suffering? What about when we look in the mirror and do not recognize the person that's staring back? That is when gratitude becomes a spiritual practice, not a reaction, but a choice. Every morning, the Jewish tradition invites us to pray these words: Modeh ani lefanecha. I offer thanks before you. Before we have opened our eyes fully, before we know what the day will bring, before joy or disappointment arrives, a gratitude that says, I am still here. I am held by something larger than myself. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel described this sacred grounding in the simplest of words. Just to be is a blessing. Just to live is holy. Not just to be happy is holy. Not just to be successful is a blessing. To be alive at all is a miracle. But let's be clear. Authentic gratitude makes room for our pain, because life isn't all light, and gratitude isn't about pretending otherwise. Buddhism teaches us that suffering, dukkha, is a fundamental part of human experience. We cannot bypass it, but we also do not drown in it. Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, when we recognize and acknowledge our suffering, the energy of mindfulness is born. Gratitude emerges in the space when we name what hurts and notice what sustains us. A friend who showed up at the right moment. A morning when you finally slept through the night. The taste of warm tea held in cold hands. The earth beneath your feet supporting you without fanfare. Those small things do not cancel out the hardship, but they insist that hardship does not tell the whole story. In the darkest of times, gratitude is the light we kindle one spark at a time. If everything that sustains us is a gift, unsolicited, unearned, then gratitude demands more than words. It calls us to reciprocity. In Jewish teaching, this is tikkun olam, the repair of the world. In indigenous teachings, this is offering back to the earth what the earth has given. In Buddhism, generosity, dana, is the expression of liberation from the illusion of separateness. Gratitude becomes a verb. It says, because someone fed me, I will feed others. Because the earth nourishes me, I will protect her. Because community saved me, I will help build community for others. The American author, pediatrician, and integrative medicine scholar Rachel Naomi Remen frames it this way. This is, of course, a collective task. It involves all people who have ever been born, all people presently alive, all people yet to be born. We are all healers of the world. And that story opens a sense of possibility. It's not about healing the world by making a huge difference. It's about healing the world that touches you. Gratitude is love returning the gift. We do not practice gratitude because life is easy. We practice gratitude because life is hard, and gratitude gives us strength. During the hardest seasons of our lives, we can name one thing that helps us survive today. Notice who is holding us up. Remember that even air and water are generous companions. This is not shallow positivity. It is spiritual survival. Jack Kornfield writes, in the darkest times, the heart holds to gratitude for the goodness that remains. Gratitude offers us a thread to hold when everything feels like it's falling apart. But here is the beautiful paradox. The more we practice gratitude in hardship, the more our hardship prepares us for compassion. Because we know what it feels like to hurt, we recognize hurt in others. And when we know what heals us, we are empowered to help heal. Unitarian Universalism is grounded in the belief that we belong to one another. We are here to bless the world and be blessed by it in return. Imagine a world shaped by gratitude and reciprocity. No one left hungry because we recognize everyone as kin. Communities caring for one another, not leaving anyone behind. Policies that reflect interdependence rather than individualism. Environmental stewardship not as charity, but as reverence. Gratitude that becomes justice. Gratitude that becomes love in motion. Gratitude that becomes a new way of living together. This is the way we heal the world. This is the work our faith calls us to do. There will be days when gratitude flows naturally, when we feel surrounded by goodness. And there will be days when gratitude feels impossible, when life is a blur of fear or sorrow. On those days, remember this. Gratitude is not a denial of pain. It is a refusal to surrender to it. Gratitude is choosing connection when isolation feels easier. Choosing hope when despair feels justified. Choosing love when numbness feels safer. Gratitude keeps us moving forward, not because everything is okay, but because everything we need to keep going is given to us by others. We are here because the world has been generous with us. What will we give in return? My friends, imagine waking each morning with this simple prayer. Thank you. Now, how can I give back today? What might shift in our relationships, in our congregation, in our community, in our world? Gratitude that stops at pretty words is incomplete. Gratitude that moves into service becomes sacred. This is how gratitude becomes reciprocity. This is how gratitude becomes healing. This is how gratitude becomes transformation. This is how gratitude becomes love made visible. In closing, my hope for you today is that you may feel gratitude like a hand in the dark, steadying you when the path feels uncertain. May you know the truth that you are held in a web of relationships older and wider than you can imagine. May your gratitude awaken reciprocity, a calling to serve, to mend, to love boldly. May your gratitude be a source of resistance to the forces of fear and isolation. And may we together build a world that reflects the wonder of being alive together. Let us live with hearts that say, thank you. And here is my offering in return. May we cause it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Thank you all so much.